Well, so something that we had talked about earlier that we wanted to talk to you about was obviously the Apocalypse Now was one of the greatest movies of all time. And you've just done so many awesome movies that we could be here all festival. But what we really wanted to talk about was you decided to bring a super iconic book to life and bring it home to Oklahoma. So can you tell us about the process by which you brought Francis to know S.E. Hinton's book and produce The Godfather? I'm sorry, to produce The Outsiders.
Outsiders.
Yeah.
We were doing a movie called One from the Heart. We were shooting it in Hollywood. And Francis got a book from sent to them by an 8th grade class from a school in Ohio, and said, "Dear Mr. Coppola," and it was signed by all the students, "we think you should make this book into a movie." And so he says, "Anybody know this book?" And so he gave it to us to read. Fred Roos, my partner, and I, we read it. And Fred said, "Hey, great, it's your home boys. It's all Oklahoma." Yeah. I said, "I know." So we went to Francis. He said, "Well, what do you think?" I said, "Yeah, it's a good book." And we could do it. One from the Heart was out of control. It was big, costing a fortune. I said, "We could shoot this in Oklahoma. A lot less money than we're spending on One from the Heart." And I said, "It's written by an Oklahoma person. It's set in Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma. Let's make it in Oklahoma." So that's how we ended up here.
Yeah.
And he fell in love with Oklahoma. And he liked it so much that he got the rights to Susie Hinton's next book, another book called Rumblefish. And at the end of when we were filming, we were doing pickup shots for Outsiders. In the morning we'd do some Outsider shots. In the afternoon we'd be Rumblefish. And the actors, Matt Jones, said, "Which movie am I doing right now?" I don't know. It was crazy. We were doing 2 movies at the same time.
Yeah. How did it feel to come home and record shoot a movie like that in Tulsa?
It was great, except Tulsa wasn't my home. My home was Oklahoma City. But it was great to be back in Oklahoma. And unfortunately, my mom had already died. And my dad had moved to Palm Springs. So I was in Oklahoma, but I wasn't able to share the experience with my family.
Yeah.
But it was still great to be back in Oklahoma. And
How did the cast do? So those guys were teenagers, right? So the cast is now the biggest stars on earth.
Yeah.
All seemingly got their start with you.
With us, yeah. Well, Fred Roos was a casting guy.
Uh-huh.
And he found all the people in the Godfather. He's very thorough, and I hear he's terrible to audition for, because when you go and sit down, the actors come in with their thing, and here's my book, and here's this, and usually somebody will say, "Well, tell me about yourself. How'd you get your start?" When you sit down with Fred, he just sits there and goes, and the actor's like,
As a kid too, because they were kids.
"Yeah, they're kidding." Well, yeah, that was his MO.
Yeah.
And
That's interesting.
yeah.
Well, because a lot of them, weren't there? There were a couple. Leif Garrett was a star at the time, right? So there were a couple, or not a star, he was a musician.
He was a
There were a
musician.
couple that I'd heard of, but I feel like the rest of them, Tom Cruise had only been in Taps.
He had been in Taps. Matt Dillon had done, what had he done? He'd done one picture.
One of the Bad News Bears or something like that. Pretty Darling? Little Darlings?
Little Darlings.
Yeah. I love that movie, Tatum O'Neal.
Diane Lane had done that thing with Europe with the kids running away. What was that called?
Not Red, but...
They were in Venice. Remember, she and this little boy take off and...
I can't remember hers, Diane Lane's. But yeah, but they were all pretty fresh.
They were all, no one knew who they were. We had a soccer game one day with the local girls' school. They got bad because they brought in ringers because they brought in all the stunt guys to help them. And stunt guys were, they were good. But I remember sitting there and there was this one lady said, "Who's that guy? He's pretty good. Who's that guy?" And someone sitting next to me was tough. "Oh, he's nobody. His name is Tom Cruise." She said, "Is he one of their stars?" Yeah, he said it, but no one knows who he's Tom Cruise.
But so he played so Tom Cruise, when Rob Lowe just came out with the book, right? Mm-hmm. And Rob Lowe's book, he says that at the time, Rob was Soda Pop, and he said that at the time, all the other kids and him were playing, and Tom Cruise was super focused and wasn't no wacky hijinks there.
Yeah, the hotel we shared, I was on the same floor with all the kids. And we come over.
By law.
That's true.
The girls were on the floor, lined up along the hall, waiting to get in. They were knocking on doors, and the guys opened. All right, you come on in. They were shooting fire extinguishers through keyholes in the doors. It was a rowdy. I finally moved out because I couldn't sleep because they were up partying all night long, and they were wild parties. What's his name? Roadhouse.
Patrick Swayze.
Oh, Patrick, and
he was the oldest brother of the family, right? Yeah. God, he was awesome.
And the only person that you never saw was Tom Cruise. He was always off by himself. He's either working out, or he's reading, or he's studying. He never hung out with them. He never did anything. And we all said, that kid's going to be. He's going to make it.
Well, because his acting in it, everyone is great in it. Ralph Macchio, C. Thomas Howell, every single person in it gives an iconic performance, and so he doesn't really stand out, but everyone now talks about how he was very different.
Totally not part of the pack.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? To see I rewatched it last night, and it's like he doesn't have he doesn't have a giant role. He comes in every now and then, doesn't he? But you're like, that's Tom Cruise. There's a baby.
Yeah.
This podcast was presented by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, who've been telling Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. Follow them online at oklahomahof.com and definitely on Instagram at oklahomahof. Catch you next episode. Cheers.